Welcome back to another segment of the Chris Mo Show Random Thoughts Podcast.
Yes. Welcome.
I am Entrail. She is LaKristen. And I want to talk about dress code.
Okay.
I want to talk about dress code. Now, for those that don't know, I am a content creator. I'm a full-time content creator.
Yes.
That has a standing contract with, or I do a lot of work with religious. I do a lot of work with churches, right? I have a main contract with the church, and I love my church. Shout out to Christian Provision Ministries.
Yes.
This is another topic. But there is a pastor, Pastor Mike Jr., and there was a image of Pastor Mike and his wife on vacation. Now, I caught on to it late, but I feel like this is a great topic for us to talk about with what I do, and then with where we are in our relationship. So, for those that may not have seen this, and I don't know where they were, but I think they were somewhere tropical. To me, it looks like Pastor Mike and his wife are on vacation. And the wife is standing in the mirror of the hotel or the resort or wherever they were. She is taking a picture with her husband. And the outfit that she had on revealed some skin. Now, I personally didn't have a problem with it.
Me either.
And of course, I'm not the pastor of the church. I am not a pastor, although I understand what pastors do, but I understand what pastoring is.
Yes.
All right, but I am not the pastor of the church.
No.
I am not trying to be the pastor of the church. I don't mind pastoring some people, right? But no, I'm not the pastor of the church, so I'm just gonna put my 2 cents out there. I wish you had an outfit like that.
Looking for one. But yeah.
And it ain't even got to be date night. Like, you ain't even got to be with me. Like, you can just go somewhere and then send me the picture. And that would probably cause like the backlash, because then they'd be like, ooh,
she out without her husband.
Yeah.
And she dressing like that. Yeah.
But see, and this is what people don't know about me, like with how perverted I am in my mind, like that's the game in our relationship. Like, that's like, I'm just gonna tell y'all, this is real. Like, Yo Gotti told y'all, it goes down in the DMs. Y'all can't look at our DMs.
No.
Because it really goes down. And this is how we keep life fun. I'm not telling y'all our business, but like, that's the allure to it for me. Like, I would want you to go somewhere, go out with your homegirls in an outfit like that and send me the selfie. Like, because then that just prepared me. I know what time it is when I get home.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess my question, I have to form this into a question. So, of course, I'm saying it's okay. But why is it like, why I don't even know how to form this question. I know it's the church and it's people and
that's really
your perception and what we can't do. And
so let me just break it down. Let me just go.
Yes, you go.
Okay, so in the black church,
yes,
the first lady,
what
is
she
supposed
can
to
and
be
cannot
prim
do,
and proper at all times. She can't show any skin. She's this high level. She's right there up under the pastor. But technically, unless she has agreed to step in that role with her husband.
And I wish I had the response from Pastor Mike, because I remember hearing about the response.
Hold on, I got you. Unless she has agreed to step in that role, she's his wife. At the end of the day, she's his wife. Now, she is his wife 365, no matter what. The church can come and go. she's still gonna be his wife.
Right.
The church put those, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. Her husband didn't say that. Her husband said, no, she's my wife. She's not your first lady. She's not running your ministries. She's not doing this. She's my wife.
Right, and especially at that moment, wherever they were,
vacation.
somewhere tropical.
They on vacation. Who walking around suited and booted, covering up, and you on an island and it's hot? Now, from what I have seen.
But then too, I don't know, because I can't say I haven't been overseas, so I don't know what the culture is, but we do know, like in
look,
Muslim culture, like you're
they want
women,
Muslim. That's not where they were. That's not where they were.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That's not where they were. That was not the type of time they were on. They were somewhere tropical.
They were somewhere tropical,
and they were getting ready to go out on the town. That's what they was on vacation.
Yeah.
They won't standing in front of nobody's pulpit, about to bring no ministry nowhere. They was doing they was on a ministry.
It was some ministry going
but it was
down
between them. They won't on no pulpit. They won't laying hands on nobody. They was going to
laying some hands.
But it was their own hands that they was laying on each other.
Yeah.
But no, this whole aspect of the first lady can't show no skin and the first lady got to do this and the first lady got to do that, folks need to get that out of their mind. Number one. Because at the end of the day, they are men and women just like everyone else. Mm-hmm. They have needs, wants, and desires just like everybody else. And when I'm going to say it, I love my bishop. I love my pastor. But when they go on vacation, I want y'all to have a ball. You hear me? Yeah, I want y'all to have a ball. Pastor Patty, put it on, because I know you can do it. I've seen you do it. Bishop love you in heels. He love it. Do it. Snap that picture, send it to me. I love it. I promise you I will. But no, people have got to come out of this. Just because you're in the church, you can't do this and you can't do that. Where all these rules come from?
Where did the rules
where did all these rules come from? That you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this and you can't do that. God created everybody. And what I know, God got a big sense of humor.
Yes. My God does.
He got a big sense of humor.
Absolutely.
So, and if you don't think he got a big sense of humor, you ask these women that have gotten their tubes tied and done everything that they possibly could to prevent a kid from coming, and then they go to the doctor and the doctor say, "Oh, you 4 months pregnant." What? Hold on. I did everything I could to stop that. Hold on. But no. God said, no. You needed another one. Here you go. If that ain't a sense of humor, I don't know what is. Because if you have done, as a woman, if you have done everything that you possibly can to prevent said child from coming, and you got one strong soldier.
When you ain't did everything that you could. you haven't done everything that you could.
Lord have mercy. That's why I say God got a sense of humor.
But you haven't done everything that you could. You could not have sex. Guaranteed you would not get pregnant.
Yeah, but in a marriage, realistically, that ain't gonna happen.
In a marriage, are we...
Realistically?
No, I'm trying to play devil's advocate again. In a marriage, and we made the decision that we don't want children. Mm-hmm. And so no, I got needs. We it's going down. I'm just trying to I'm really trying to walk myself through this. How do I I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this one. So we just gonna segue into the next part.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
God got a sense of humor.
God got a sense of humor.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Of course, I didn't have a problem with it, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where to go after that. Like, just you wear what you want to wear. Like, you.
At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, in that relationship.
Where did dress? I guess no. So let me ask this: where did the dress code? Where did the dress code in church come from? I don't know. And again, we're
okay,
strategically talking about the black church.
What I remember. In the Bible, it says, "Come as you are." And then what the old folks would say, and then the Lord said, He'll clean you up and make you anew. So in their minds, if you're coming in your regular everyday clothes, then God is supposed to, once He cleans you up, that means your attire is supposed to change. I don't know how true that is. That's just old folk. I grew up with the old folk. So that's what I heard growing up. How true it is, if that's where it came from, I don't know. But that's just what I heard growing up.
My opinion, I think a lot of those, I don't know if ideologies is the right word, but I think that came from oppression and slavery, honestly. There is a great movie on Netflix, and not to sit here and boast about this movie, that shows the shift of, and I knew a cough was coming, the shift of, the shift of Christianity as it moves across the United States. Again, it's a great film, but I'm not gonna, because I'm not getting the check from Netflix, so I'm not gonna say the name of the movie. If you happen to find it, then you find it. But it is talking about the shift of Christianity, as they called, I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was like the hippie movement, right? The Jesus boomers whatever it was.
Jesus freaks.
The Jesus freaks, yes, that's what it was. The Jesus freaks that swept across the nation in the 70s. But there are scenes in that movie that kind of embody exactly what you said, like how they come in with this whole open mind and we just want to love.
We just want to love.
And be free.
God is love.
And worship, right? And the belief of these people, like, you dirty, your clothes don't look like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got on the 3-piece suit from J.C. Penney. You don't look a certain way. You don't talk a certain way, so you can't be associated with us. Like,
you're not bringing in enough money. You're not contributing enough.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
So the way we grew up with church to what church is now, there are still a lot of aspects of the older church that still.
You know one thing, and not to randomly jump, I wish we would have experienced church outside of North Carolina. And I say that because life outside of North Carolina
is different.
Dramatically different.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think this is a point. If you have not traveled outside of the area that you live, and I don't just mean the state. Like if you live in the South, if you live in Florida, and you've never traveled above Georgia, you are doing a disservice to yourself.
Yes.
Right, because life in the South is gonna be the same,
Yes.
but life in the North or life out west
It's different.
is different. Life will be much different.
Change your
And
time zones.
you won't know what actually works for you until you get out and experience life somewhere else.
Yes.
I know this personally, and that's why I'm bringing this up. So, with us being from the South, and we know religion
It's heavy.
is very, very heavily promoted and pushed upon people. And I'm not even going to go into the whole, like that's a whole nother
Yes, it is.
show. But we know what works for us.
Yes.
So I'm saying I wish we would have experienced church outside of what it is in North Carolina, which maybe would have changed our perspective sooner.
Agreed. I could see that. It's kind of like experiencing a different way of doing school.
Yes. And we can talk about
we
let's
learned-
finish this segment talking about
Yes.
North Carolina schools, and shout out to Saba. Shout out to Mina. Shout out to Ascend. And I don't know if those are African American schools. I know Saba and Mina in
Ascend started
in North Carolina. Those were founded by African Americans.
Ascend was too.
And so Ascend as well. Yes. So, and not just like those are, but we actually know these people, not especially Saba. So I'm gonna say it again. Shout out to Saba, the School of, and I ain't gonna get this right, the School of the Arts for the Boys Academy.
Yes.
I think that's what it is.
Yes.
Shout out to Saba. Shout out to our family, the Toomers. Queen Valencia and King Tavares for starting a school is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But yeah, school outside of North Carolina. And why I'm shouting out these schools, these private charter schools, because I think they also identified that
there was a need that was not being met.
And like this, we can say what I want to because we control the narrative on this podcast. When I left North Carolina was 40th. There are only 50 states in the United States of Corporation. There are only 50. North Carolina was 40, and I know exactly what I said. I did not study. Y'all rewind it back. North Carolina was 40th out of 50. Dang it, and that camera just died. Or did she... What'd she say? That's terrible, but I still got this one. North Carolina was 40th.
Yes, it was.
Out of 50.
Yes, it was.
We moved to New Hampshire. New Hampshire was 4th.
Yes.
Out of 50 states in education.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, when the school season started, or when the school year started, we saw why.
Yes. It was a total shock to go to the schools up there after being down here. North Carolina, I can't speak to any other state. I can only speak to North Carolina. North Carolina is test heavy. Test.
That's all it is.
Test.
The curriculum is based on test scores.
Can you pass this test? That's it.
Not if you know the material. Can you pass this test?
I will say, and this is shout out to the Ray School in New Hampshire.
Yes.
Their style of teaching, hands down the best. My daughter has always had a love for school. In her time, at that time, She was only in the 3rd grade. But she had never seen a male teacher. Had never seen a male teacher in her schools at that time. So for her 3rd grade year, for her to have a male teacher, and he was very hands-on, she was absolutely loving it. Their class sizes are the same, just like they are here in North Carolina. Roughly anywhere from 18 to 20 students in a class.
But the curriculum was different.
Curriculum.
Our daughter was learning Spanish in the 3rd grade.
It was a state. She had to. It wasn't an elective. It was part of the curriculum.
They studied Japan.
Yes.
In the 3rd grade.
Yes. They had outside classrooms. Outside classrooms. That was a constant. It was even in the snow. Even in the snow.
Yes.
It was outside classrooms. Like, they were going outside. They were learning about not just a number or a sentence. They were learning about nature.
This wasn't, let me read from this book and then let's take this chapter test at the end, answer the questions. And
out of the entire time that we were there, the entire school year, she tested one time. Once. And that was at the end of the school year. Mm-hmm. Once. One major test. It is now the end of October. School started in August. They've tested twice already. They've had check-ins. Like, already. That's ridiculous. They just had check-ins last week. Again.
They did.
And they're going to have them again in January. And then they're going to have them again in possibly March. And then they're going to have them again at the end of the school year. That's ridiculous. No, down here, you get numbered grades. A, B, C, well, lettered grades, sorry.
Letter
A, B,
grades,
C,
yes.
A, B, C, D, F.
No, you're correct. There's number grades, yes.
So, A, B, C, D, F. When she was in school, it was 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. 1, you knew it. You knew the material. 2, you knew it, but you needed some help. 3, you needed help. You weren't mastering it. There were no letters. The reach out and the hands-on there is much different than it is here. Now, I will say there are some excellent teachers here that love their jobs. And they take their jobs very seriously.
Yes, I think there are excellent teachers all over.
But what I think with NC, the issue is become everything is test heavy. So in regards to the teachers, and I don't know if this is the case to be true, but if you don't make the letter, if you don't make the number, that affects your bonus. So
it's all about incentives.
It's all about incentives.
About the bottom line at the end of the day.
You're not really worried if the kid knows the material or not. It's, can you pass this test?
How many we need to keep our percentages high. So how many students can we get to go through the program? It's
not when we were coming up, you had to know the material. And then they came up with this No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind to me is a trophy for everybody. Everybody gets a trophy. Whereas when we were growing up, you had to work for that trophy.
You had to work for it, absolutely.
I get it. Everybody don't learn the same way. But at the same time, as the parent, as the parent, let's take some responsibility.
As the parent, it is actually, and people don't shoot me for saying this as my light dies. As the parent, it is my job to teach my children.
Yes.
Not the teacher, not
the
the
teacher
school system.
is there to help,
to aid,
and assist.
The teacher gives the curriculum outlined by the state, right? But it is my job as a parent to teach my child what they need to know. That's why, and again, we get praise for this, but our daughter has been an entrepreneur since the age of 10.
Yes.
Because it is our job to teach her, not leaving that responsibility to the North Carolina school system.
Basically, one of the things, and what made, okay, let's just put it out there. When COVID hit.
COVID showed us a lot, absolutely.
COVID showed us a lot.
Absolutely.
And I take my hat off to teachers. I salute y'all. Because y'all are great at dealing with a lot of kids, different attitudes, personalities, all of that stuff, and still doing what you do. Take my hat off to you. But parents, a lot dropped the ball. Because you felt that's the teacher's responsibility. That ain't my job. I ain't supposed to be teaching them. Nah, technically you are. Technically you are. You're supposed to teach your child. And you're supposed to want your child to do better than you. So even if you don't know the material, you tell the teacher, hey, I ain't too sure about this material. I'm gonna need you to help my child. Now, this new finagle math they got, yeah, I'm not the best at that neither. But I do know some people that are. And if I can't help my child, I'm going to do what I need to do and connect her with the people that she needs to connect with, or him. Connect them with who they need to get with so they can make sure that they're learning the material. Now, there are some things as the parent, science, social studies, ELA, language arts, English, whatever you want to call it. There's some of us that can't properly speak now. So please, if you can't properly speak, don't try to help your child. Get them a tutor. Get them a tutor. And yes, I said M. E-M. Get them. Yeah, I did. Get them, for those that want to be technical. Get them.
Yeah, you let your North Carolina dialect come out right now.
Get them a tutor. Everybody needs help at some point. But when COVID hit, the school said, pass everybody. Pass them. Don't hold nobody back. Pass them. Even the ones that couldn't read. Pass them. Now the bad part to that is, the next school year, you passed some that should have been held back. Now this new teacher, now she got to figure out what they don't know, on top of trying to teach them new material. So in North Carolina, and I can only speak to North Carolina, you already dumbed them down. The requirements, you dropped the requirements already. Because the grading scale went down. Whereas when we were in school, an F was 60 and below. That is now a D.
No, that is correct. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. When we were in school, an F was below a 70. Now it is true. You're talking about the new scale. True. No, correct. We had 30 points. True. There was a 30 point.
True. It started at 70. 70 was your D when we were growing up.
Yes, 70 was a D. 69 was an F.
Yes,
now it is 69 to 60 is a D.
This is true. Which is dumbing down. You're dumbing the children down. You're not expecting them to grasp hold of the material. You're not expecting them to learn. And for those that learn the material and retain the material, it's almost like you keep them stuck and you don't let them progress because you want to hold them in a box and say, nope, you can't go there. You can't do that. You can't do this. Shout out to my daughter. I'm so glad she's not one of those. You know, she's steadily progressing. She didn't let her COVID year stop her. To me, it inspired her more because Sense by Yaya was her idea. She was the one that wanted to do that.
But does she do that? Not to cut you off, but does she do that if we don't push to be more hands-on during COVID?
Yeah.
And that brings me back to, and how we'll close, in saying it was not the responsibility of the school system nor the teachers.
True.
But yes, us. Yes. Because it was our idea to say, let's order this crafting kit. Let's look at what she already is interested in and just expand on that.
Yes.
That's what made us order the crafting kit, which had the candles in it.
Yes.
And now we shout out to Sense by Yaya, go order some candles, all that good stuff. But yeah, I just, that wasn't COVID, that was us. If we don't order the kit, if we don't say, hey, you got to do more. Yes. But again, that was us that did that, not necessarily the school system. The school system just said, like you said, if you log in every day, if you're here and I can see you on camera, then I'm going to give you an A. I'm going to give you 100 for that day.
Yeah. Because
we're dealing with something new. We don't know what to deal with. We don't know how to teach the kids right now. This is all very, very new.
Yeah.
But, you know, the world picked up very fast because 3 years and here we go. Because we're sitting here podcasting right now. Everything is short form video. That's all I got. That's all we got. We out of here. And we're over time because it's 32 minutes anyway. And I only got this camera running because that one cut off and that one cut off a long time ago. This is real. And we still here. Even my light went out. The light died. This is why I got to get all of this stuff has to be like wired.
Yeah.
Or we have to figure out and make sure these segments are timed. And I'm still filming like all of this.
All right.
Because the podcast, this is just audio. Audio form goes to Anchor.
Okay.
But that's it. Y'all come back and holler at us next time. You know what I want to talk about next time too?
What's that?
And I'm going to give them this one. I'm going to give them this one to let them ponder on this one. Because I'm looking at my notes. This statement. I think this statement can ruin relationships or marriages. Do you know what that statement is?
What's that?
The woman is always right.
No.
Or happy wife, happy life. Don't even say it. We're going to leave them with that cliffhanger. Catch y'all next time.